So the big question is, should Zion Williamson sit out the rest of the tournament, the rest of his college career at Duke? Now, we all saw the injury. If you haven't seen it, you're about to see it. It's not the worst injury that has ever happened. In fact, it ended up being a mild knee sprain. But when you watched it for the first time, as I did live, it gave me the worst possible fear. Zion Williamson is one big dude, and the fact that it made it worse was obviously his shoe. You can see it come out right there, and he's obviously in a lot of pain at that point. On the knee, he limps off. His shoe just burst, which was two things. One was the shoe, one was the knee, but that shoe had me like, whoa. I've seen it before. I saw it with Manu Ginobili in the NBA. There's a few other players that have had it before, but it's still scary. But that knee injury. Now, a mild knee sprain is something that doesn't last too long, a couple of weeks out. But for Zion's sake, should he come back? I mean, we saw it with Stephen Curry. He got injured, had a mild knee sprain, and when he came back, he still wasn't 100% healthy. For Zion Williamson's sake, going into the NBA, being arguably the top prospect in the 2019 NBA draft, should he come back to play college ever again? And this is something that I want to know from your opinion. This isn't one of my regular videos where I have a script. This is actually just me talking to you and asking, do you think Zion should actually continue to play college? There's been a lot of discussions, especially NBA players voicing their opinions, which I guess it is a bit scary because Zion is one of those guys that if he starts to get injured before he makes the NBA, it doesn't look great for him once he's actually in the NBA. Isaiah Thomas said, let these kids go straight out of high school. Too much on the line to be messing with college if you have a legit chance to go pro. One injury can change somebody's career. Which is fair enough for Isaiah to say because obviously Zion Williamson, if he continues to get injured, like I said, it doesn't look good. Donovan Mitchell had a different perspective. He said again, let's remember all the money that went into this game and these players get none of it. And now Zion gets hurt. Something has to change at NCAA. So Donovan Mitchell is obviously right. I think NCAA players definitely deserve to get paid, especially with what Zion brings to the game. Practically everybody at the game, including Barack Obama, including Spike Lee, these guys pay a lot of money just to watch someone like Zion Williamson play. Zion gets hurt, they don't get their money's worth because obviously he doesn't play. Obviously Duke versus UNC is a great game no matter what, but Duke underperformed considering they didn't have Zion, and we all saw that Zion ended up walking off with an injury. It just doesn't look good for the NCAA either. Jay Williams, who obviously was injured before he made the NBA, different scenario as he got injured riding a motorcycle, but he said this Zion Williamson injury is exactly why players should be able to go directly from the NBA from high school. The league needs to change this rule, period. And that's something also that definitely should happen in my opinion. NBA players should be drafted straight out of high school. It used to happen. We saw LeBron. I mean, I understand players like Kwame Brown and other players coming out of high school didn't work out, but many of them actually do work out. It just may take a little longer. We saw it with LeBron, obviously straight out of high school, and Zion Williamson would probably have the same effect. But even someone that comes out of high school and takes a little bit longer is still worth them going to the NBA a little bit earlier. Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is a little bit different, but he still was the same age as someone coming out of high school. In my opinion, this Zion Williamson injury, it may just be a one and done thing. But what happens if he comes back to the NCAA? What happens if he comes back to the March Madness tournament? He gets injured again. All that weight on that right knee of his, and it happens again, and he's out even longer. It doesn't necessarily hurt his chances to get drafted to the NBA, but it may hurt his chances to do even better than he could be in the NBA, because we've seen players that have had injuries in college and they haven't performed in the NBA despite their huge amount of potential. Or on the counter side of that, we have seen players like Joel Embiid who have had serious back injuries during the Big 12 tournament and actually never come back. He never played for Kansas after that injury, and he was still a top 3 pick in that year's draft. Look, personally, to me, I don't mind if Zion continues to play for the Devils or if he just sits out. I just want to see him in the NBA at his highest level. So, if I'm Zion, I would be worried about aggravating the injury, but at the same time, it isn't the worst injury that has ever happened to a player. Zion Williamson is someone that we all just would love to see in the NBA, much rather than in college. Yes, he's a superb college player. He gives us amazing highlights, but the NBA is where it's at. Everybody wants to watch him in the NBA, and if he suffers another knee injury, well, he'll probably still get drafted number 1 overall, but it's just a bit of a disappointment. And part of it would be on the NCAA. Of course, this is at the worst possible scenario, but one more injury is all it can take. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's just my opinion overall. It's not really one of my normal videos, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the Zion Williamson injury. I reckon the shoe part bursting is more insane than the actual injury, but the injury is still insane considering it's something that could affect his career in the future. But I want to hear your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos just like this, a little bit of a discussion type video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know what you guys think about the audio in this video because I got a new microphone for the channel. I'm out. Peace.